And right now, because I got my miracle shirt on and I got my dress shirt on, it's a little warm. So I'm gonna go to upstairs. So because it's the same temperature, the air conditioning's not on. So I'm just gonna move this. I'm training you guys. Take my finger, move that over there. Turns on the air. What if doubling your income? See, now it's on. What if it was that easy? Why perhaps hasn't it been that easy for you? And I'll show you why, in my opinion. The reason it hasn't been easy is because you're trying to create increased results being the existing and previous version of yourself. When I went to work for Dante and I was his bottom producer, okay, let me show you this photo here. So before I worked for Dante, I was at McDonald's. My last year at McDonald's, I made a little over $7,000. My first year with Dante, even as the bottom producer, I made 28,000. My second year, I made probably about 80. So my income went 7,000, 28,000, 80,000. Why? I had a different way of making money. So doubling your income is not hard. The only thing that's hard about it is if you try to keep being who you've been being. And if you'll let that go, let's see here. I think this is the right one. Yep. So what if it was easy? So this is my client, coaching him. He's doing under $5,000 a month. He's frustrated with his business. And I'm believing in him. And what I was basically telling him is you have the habit of being yourself, and who you're being is making under $5,000 a month. We've got to make some tweaks to your business model. We got to look at your price points, and we're going to take the same, let's say he's working 40 hours a week. We're going to, listen to me, for you, we're going to take your same 40-hour work week, or your 50-hour, your 60-hour, your 30-hour, your 20-hour, your 10, whatever you're working. I'm not asking you to work more hours. That's a different conversation. But let's see, if I'm coaching you, I'm not connected to, I'm not connected to how you do it. So I wasn't committed to how Steven does his business. I was committed to, hey, here's what you could do. So I start changing the game on him. Instead of doing X, do Y. Instead of doing A, do B. So how do you think he reacted when I was asking him to do different things? Do you think he was like, oh, that's awesome, let's do it? Or when I was asking him to do new things and break the habit of being himself, do you think maybe he gave some resistance? Yeah, he gave resistance. Why? Because it's called being a human being. And fortunately, I was very convicted in what I was teaching him. When two people meet, the person that's the most certain will almost always influence the other person. When two people meet, the person that is the most certain will almost always influence the other person. I was certain in what I was teaching Steven. And I finally wore him down, and he started listening. And I say that lovingly. The last 3 months, he's brought in over 25 grand every single month. He's building $1 million business. Okay, this is why I want to coach you. A little bit later on today, I'm going to make what I call an irresistible offer. I'm going to make the price so low, money will not stand in your way if you like coaching. If you want to be coached and get that you've got to shift who you're being in order to have a major breakthrough, it's probably not going to come from more of the same equals more of the same. And for as great as Steven's doing, he's got $80,000, $100,000 months coming. And I'm really happy for him. And this can be your story. Virtual selling, strategic alliances, Facebook ads, trade shows, hiring an assistant, getting a VA. My first major sales breakthrough, when I went from 10K in sales to over 50K, what created it was sales scripting. So what I want you to get right now is we're going to look at the buttons you can press and the levers that you can pull in order to increase your revenue, right? So if you think about the interest rates, right? I think the Fed is the one that adjusts the interest rates, and now they're at like 7% or whatever. I don't really follow the interest rates much, but the idea is they can change the interest rate. So I'm not a big expert on the economy, but my understanding was the interest rate was in like the 3s or the 4s, and they said, okay, we're going to increase the interest rates, which is going to slow down loans, real estate, and whatever other things it does, right? So the Fed, whoever's making those decisions, they probably have a committee, and they all got in a room, and they said, okay, we want to slow down these things where it's for inflation and whatever the stuff is that's over my head, all right? But the point is they're like, what are the levers we have? What are the buttons that we can press that can make the difference? So one button or lever, button to press, lever to pull, that can change your life with revenue is to come from the position of I create revenue now. That's one thing. Put that in your notes. Second thing is at the end of the month, I want you to have a goal for your revenue or your income or however you measure it. And if you don't hit it, you don't go, oh, well. You don't go, oh, well. You go, I got to make a change. I got to pivot. I got to dig deeper. I got to be more committed. I got to make more calls. I got to do something, but not the same thing month after month after month. And you're like, yeah, I want to create revenue, more revenue, but it never happens for me. Yeah, because you're not pivoting. So another button you can press, lever you can pull, is to improve the quality of your sales presentation. So let's broaden sales scripting, because some people don't like the word scripting. Just forget the word scripting. Improved sales presentation. Okay, that's more, you guys can embrace that easier. Okay, make a note of that. If you improve the quality of your sales presentation, it's a button to press, a lever to pull to influence what's showing up in reality. In my experience, most people don't work on their presentation. There exists a future you that has potential to produce results far superior to the results that you're currently producing. You and only you can access this potential. Why coaching? So my son, what I'm going to show you, it started with basketball. I'll just show it to you right now. So I taught this to my son. He's dribbling the basketball, not because he thought of it on his own. I told him, go dribble the ball with your left hand. Go dribble the ball with your right hand. And what we're doing here is we're working on skill set. We're creating possibility by increasing his skill set. Okay, another button you can press, lever you can pull, is you improve your skill set. What skill sets should you improve? I'll give you a couple that are directly related to revenue. AI. And we'll talk about that after we take our lunch break. I'm going to give you a bunch of cool AI stuff. Okay. You can improve your AI skills. One thing you can do. Another thing is improve your prospecting skills. Another thing is to improve your sales skills. Another thing to improve is your beingness. That has to do with your mindset. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Another thing you can improve is your sales presentation skills. I call it sales scripting. So my son's doing it with basketball. Okay. So watch this. That's after years of him working that skill of dribbling. Then we accelerated with world-class coaching. So this is my son with Rick Barry. Rick Barry is an NBA Hall of Famer. So I influenced Rick Barry to work with my son one-on-one and train him in basketball. So those of you that are interested in coaching, we'll get to that a little bit later. I'd love the opportunity. I'm going to make the price so low, money's not going to stand in your way. I'm going to guarantee you ROI. We'll talk about that later. But we're going to, a button you can press, a lever that you can pull is elite sales and business coaching. So teach this to my son. He's not doing basketball anymore. But what did he get? The blueprint. So now he's taking what I taught him in basketball and he's applying it to stocks and crypto and real estate and life insurance. He's 23. He has a written goal to become a millionaire. Now, this is where the coaching comes in. My vision for him is not only to become a millionaire, I want him to become a millionaire in the stock market, just that asset class. I want him to become a millionaire in crypto, just that asset class. I want him to become a millionaire in real estate, and I want him to become a millionaire in this cash value life insurance. So it's expanding his vision. That's another button you can press, a lever that you can pull. The book is called The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. David Schwartz is saying a button you can press and a lever that you can pull to increase, in this context, your sales results is to think bigger. Go after larger commissioned opportunities. Now, let me ask you a question. Type this in the chat. What do you think the number one reason people are not going after larger commissioned opportunities? Just type in the chat. What do you think the answer is? Why are people not going after larger commissioned opportunities? Okay. I think the answer, you guys are all over the answer here. Okay. I love it. Okay. They don't think they can. Imposter syndrome, lack of belief, fear, doubt, self-image, resistance. Okay. We're kind of like, we're all over exactly what it is. It's the habit of not doing it. It's the resistance. It's the I'm not good enough. So I'm going to show you a real world example of this. So this is me here. One of the highlights of my speaking career. Getting ready to get on stage, or I was just off stage, don't remember which. It's like 1,800 people there. And this conference is called Get Motivated. And Get Motivated is a seminar circuit. Tony Robbins has been on the stage, Zig Ziglar, Colin Powell, athletes like Wayne Gretzky. I mean, it's a, you want to be on that stage if you're a speaker. So Les Brown, motivational superstar, is a friend of mine. And he was on the Get Motivated stage.